Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, yeah, you've read the title. Mocks are almost here. And you might be thinking, Ella, it's still November. Mocks are in January. We're all fine. No, because my art exam is in 2 weeks. And I'm not ready for that. At all. So for me, mocks are fast approaching and I am in no way, shape or form prepared. I have not started any revision. I'm trying to do as much as I can for art. However, I have not taken any work home this weekend, so we all know how that's really going. And I also have an exciting announcement. So this is kind of just a life update kind of video. However, it is going to be centered around how I am, hopefully, emphasis on that, hopefully, going to stay less stressed than normal throughout mock season, because I don't care, it's near Christmas and I'm not stressing out that much. I want to enjoy my mince pies in peace. So, with that being said, let's get this special announcement out of the way with. You may or may not know that I have been working on something for the past few months. I released my first mindset journal on my 17th birthday and I got some really nice feedback, which was lovely. And ever since then I've been working on edition 2, which I am so excited to actually finally be holding, because it has taken an age. Now, I may do a separate video on this, but there are things that need, I wouldn't say changing, because the actual journals themselves are perfect. I just need to iron some things out with the printers because they are not in my good books right now. However, they're finally here. And they're in 2 different colours now. So, look at these. Look at them. They're actually here. Okay, so they are both the same, like, templates and everything. The only difference is, obviously, the styles. So we have the original, inspired by the grey and pink edition 1 that I released almost 3 months ago now. Wait, August, September, October, November. Over 3 months ago now. Wow, that's been quick. And we also have, by popular request, a monochrome edition. So this does have a little pop of colour. There's like a little brown, and then throughout the book, let's just open a page, you can see, like, it is, I'm sorry, I'm having to like peek around the book to like see where I am in the viewfinder. It is mostly monochrome with just little pops of colour every now and then. I will be talking about these throughout this video because they are going to help me explain how I'm going to stay de-stressed. Okay, so how am I using these, or the ideas that I have in these, to help me de-stress? Now, I've actually got my dad using one of these now, and I never thought that would happen because he always said that he wasn't creative and that he couldn't use a bullet journal. He has no excuse now because I've made it for him. So he's going to be using this one and I'm going to be using this one because these are the tests, so they're a bit scruffed and stuff. So these are our 2. Basically, if you've never heard of the mindset journals before, I created these out of the 3 most used templates that I had in my bullet journal. So I'm almost finished my first bullet journal. I'm halfway through my second one. I have 2 separate ones because you can never have enough notebooks. And the 3 most common templates that I always found I was using was a habit tracker, a mind dump, which is the Lord and Saviour of my stress, and the weekly to-do. So that's what this is about. So, habit tracker. Now, obviously you don't need to use one of these notebooks to do this, but if you do want one, link in description. But basically you just want a column down the side where you can write down all of your habits that you want to continue, and I've done this over a 2-week period so that you can take it in small chunks at a time instead of seeing like 3 months stretched out or whatever. I always limit it to maximum 10 habits, but I never fill that many up, just because it's better to focus on, say, 5 habits than try and pile on 10 and try and keep them up for every single day. It probably won't happen. I've got an itchy nose. As you could progress, each day you tick off which habits you've done, and at the end of, say in this case, 2 weeks, you will find that you will have succeeded in more habits, or some habits more than others. And then you can see that, okay, well, next 2 weeks or next month, however long you do your habit tracker for, I'll focus on these habits that were kind of rejected a bit this week, so I'll put them at the top of my list and make sure I cross them off first. And the reason why habits and habit trackers work so well for me is because, as I've already mentioned, exercise is really important. So that's one of the ones that always ends up on my habit tracker. And that means that I can almost like ensure that I spend some time just to myself and not, you know, trying to tick off things from a to-do list. It just, I suppose, keeps you in check and keeps you doing those good habits so that when you go through a stressful time and when exercise and clean eating might go out the window, you still try and focus on things. Because I feel like when we chuck habits out the window because we're in a stressful time and, oh, it's only for these 2 weeks, then A, it's a lot harder to get back into the habit after that 2 weeks. But it also like subconsciously signals to your brain that these 2 weeks are stressful. But if you keep those habits running throughout and like don't change anything or try not to, I know obviously there will be days that maybe you have to skip a workout because everything's really busy, but in general you try and stick to the routine that you normally have in your everyday life. I think that really helps me just keep everything in perspective and not think, oh my god, today is a really stressful day because I'm not doing XYZ. I'm just like, okay, today is a normal day with this stressful hour in it. I don't know, maybe that could help. Try it for yourself and literally just try it for like 2 months and see the benefit after that, because I really think it could help. And I suppose if you get into the habit of tracking your habits, then by the time mocks come, you'll be boss at this and you won't need to start a new habit. You'll just need to continue the ones you've been practicing for the last few months. Number 2 is the mind dump, and this is what formulates or helps me figure out what I'm going to be doing for the week. So first of all, look how cute this little page is. Look at it, it's adorable. So this is one of my favourite quotes, and then the quote pages in the monochrome mindset journal, I think you've already seen, is, I really like this design. Also, look at the shiny matte pages. Snazzy. Regardless of the quote, that's not what we're on about today. We're on about the mind dump. Now, I've left this chunk. So imagine you have a page in your notebook like this. You want a good section of it to just be you writing down anything and everything that you have on your mind. So I literally write down tasks that I need to do, doing the washing, picking up a birthday present, wrapping something, literally everything. So obviously the mind dump is going to be unique to every single person because we all have our own problems going on in life, but whatever you've got going on, it goes in this section of the page. And then once you've emptied your brain and you've exhausted your pen and you literally have nothing else to write, you then try and organize this into priorities. So I normally pick up to 10 priorities and label them 1 to 10, and that just means that I can tackle the tasks that are either really urgent or really big, and we'll get onto that in a minute. So mind dump is one of the most powerful things I have done in the past few weeks and past few years, and I will be doing it consistently for the next few months, especially with the lead up to art, because I have so many, like, the thing that stresses you out more than anything isn't like one big task. It's loads of little tasks that you can't really pinpoint. Like if you just had the one task, then it wouldn't stress you out. But when you have 20 of them, you don't know which one to start on first, which is why I put it all down on the mind dump. And if you are an art student, you will know that art has this way of having so many tiny tasks that you need to do that it just builds up and stresses you out ridiculously. So for example, annotating a page, doing a title, anything like that, it's all going on my mind dump because that is the only way I can organise my life. So mind dumps have literally saved my stress at several points in the last few years. Right, and last thing, the weekly to do. This is probably the most obvious one and the one, maybe one you've already been using, but there are some changes that, or some adaptations, specific requirements, whatever word you want to use, that I do for my weekly to-dos to, again, make sure that I'm not overwhelming myself. One of my most favourite quotes is, burnout happens when you avoid being human for too long. And I think that when we sit down at the beginning of the week and we try and plan our weekly to-do list, it is so easy to be this optimistic person that thinks we're going to be productive 24/7 and we're not going to sit there and watch the entire series of Shane and Jeffrey just like completely dominating the internet, which is absolutely not what I've been doing for the past week. And we're really optimistic and we're we like to exaggerate the amount of time we have, and realistically time literally goes like that. We never see enough in the day. I feel like there should be 40 hours in a day for me to get everything that I want to put down on my to-do list done. So there are some ways that I try and control myself in order to not feel stressed out, because the worst feeling is getting to Sunday and ticking off like only a few things on my to-do list and still having this entire page to do. So here's what I've been doing. I'm sorry, I'm getting pins and needles on my foot. So at the top of the page, this is kind of a follow-on from your mind dump. So as I said, you've picked out your priorities, and some of them might be really, really big tasks. For example, again, I'm bringing this back to art because that is at the forefront of my conscience right now. If I'm doing a big A2 piece, that is stressful because it's a really big like topic and a big task for me to tick off, and it's going to take me like 20 hours or something to be able to tick it off. So for 20 hours I'm working on something and not giving myself the reward of like ticking something off every single day. So break it down. So background, or draw it out, background, paint, and then pen, or whatever I'm doing. Break it up into smaller tasks so that you can tick things off more often, and it's scientifically proven to make you happier. Now you've broken them down, you've got your priorities, you've set out everything that's been floating around in your brain on a piece of paper, you can now start organising your tasks into the days of the week. So as you can see, this is the kind of example of me trying to control my habit of giving myself too much to do. You saw the size of these boxes. They're not very big. I know I have small handwriting, but they're meant to be small. And the reason for that is, if you give yourself too many tasks to do, then obviously you're going to feel stressed at the end of the day when they're not all ticked off. So maybe that's room for like 5 tasks. So pick them wisely. Make sure you use your priorities and your tasks that you've broken down, and also make sure there are healthy habits in there like working out or making lunch for the next day or anything like that. I also have a notes section at the end of the week, which I kind of add to throughout the week actually. I used to put that at the end of my bullet journal spreads. It's always made an appearance somewhere, because when I'm going through the week at school or at home, I get tasks that maybe don't need to be done this week, but I want to remember for the next week. So they get put in the notes section, which can then move into the next mind dump and the next weekly to do, and so on. Okay. So that is how, hopefully, I'm gonna not stress out as much as I did last time when I was doing the mocks. You guys know that school is becoming less and less important for me. However, I still want to, you know, get the most out of this year, because I can't do much about being in school, so I might as well do something good and not stress myself out more than... I'm like naturally one of those people that want to do my best in tests and stuff. So although I haven't taken any work home, there is still a part of me that, like, when I'm at school, I will work hard and I will get all of my work done. The reason why I haven't taken any work home is because I've done everything I need to do. The only thing is I'm not doing any extra work. I cannot be bothered to do more than I need to do. With mocks fast approaching, whether you're an art student or not, I hope that that video helped you. Once again, if you'd like to get your copy of either the monochrome or the pink mindset journal, the link will be in the description. They are £13.50 including UK delivery. However, obviously don't let not having a journal stop you from keeping your stress levels low, because literally all you need is a notebook. I've walked you through everything you should need, and obviously you've seen how simple the templates are. They're not some sort of intricate bullet journal design that needs washi tape and 5 different colours of post-it notes. You just need a pen and paper. So get writing and get planning, and I'm going to put this out hopefully tonight so that you've got Sunday to prep and just stay calm for the week. So yeah, hopefully that video has been helpful. Leave a comment below if you have any more video suggestions regarding planning and stuff. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!